So it's crazy to think that it's been 3 weeks now since the release of Nintendo Switch 2, and I have absolutely been enjoying myself and loving this console. I play it every single day, but again though, I'm also a huge Nintendo Switch fan. With that being said though, what I want to talk about here today is, do you need to purchase Nintendo Switch 2 or upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 at this very moment? If you have Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch OLED, or any of the other Nintendo Switches, the original, do you have to absolutely have Switch 2 at this point in time? I was asked this question the other day, so I figured I'd go ahead and address it and give you my personal opinions on that matter. This is Mike here with Chit Chat Gaming, and I hope you're all doing well. And like I mentioned, I did get asked the question, should I switch from the OLED to the most recent Nintendo Switch 2, or even from the original one? And what I kind of said was that as of this point in time right now, as much as I love Nintendo Switch 2, I think it's definitely a major upgrade from the previous models. And of course, if you're a Nintendo enthusiast like I am, and you have to have the most recent Nintendo products and consoles, then of course most likely you're going to get your hands on Nintendo Switch 2. Or if you're just a gaming enthusiast in the first place and you have to have the most recent consoles, then of course you're most likely going to get your hands on this. But if you're satisfied with playing your Nintendo Switch OLED or your regular Nintendo Switch, then I really don't think there's much need to upgrade at this point in time. Because right now, the big game that's really only big game that's out right now currently is Mario Kart World. Of course, we have Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out, and there's a whole slew of other games that's going to be coming out here in the future. Of course, and you have the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of the games of like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, but you can get those on here as well too. Does it play as good on here as it does on here? Absolutely not. Do those Nintendo Switch 2 updates help out? Absolutely. The biggest thing I can say right now, or the biggest comparison I can say right now, is with the Splatoon 3 upgrade. It plays absolutely fantastic on the Switch 2. It does play, I've always had no problem playing on my Nintendo Switch, but on the Switch 2, you definitely see that when you go back and play it on here, or even if you go back and play Splatoon 2, and then you go on here and play 3, it's a big difference. But with that being said though, you are getting a lot of upgrades with Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, you're getting that 4K, you're getting that HDR, of course you're getting a much bigger handheld as well too. You're getting the bigger buttons, you're getting the magnetic Joy-Cons, you're getting that chat button as well here too, the communications button at the very, very top, or right here I guess I should say. And of course, you're getting a new kickstand. So there's definitely a lot of different caveats that you're getting with Nintendo Switch 2. But is it a huge upgrade from the OLED? I mean, I like the OLED screen a little bit better. Yes, the screen is bigger. It is a 1080p screen, but I really do enjoy my OLED screen a little bit more. And to be honest with you, to be fair with you, a lot of people, including a friend of mine, actually thinks that playing this here, Nintendo Switch, is more comfortable because it's more compatible. It's smaller, right? It's much more smaller than what the size of the Nintendo Switch 2 is. I don't think it bothers me that much playing this. It's a little bit bigger, yes, a little bit less comfortable, but not much, and it's not really a whole lot heavier. But of course, playing this here does feel a lot better, as you're not really stressing the hands out as much, and you're probably most likely not going to get a hand cramp. But some people like the size of the original Switch, and even like the OLED here, a lot better than they like the size of the Nintendo Switch 2. And again, that's personal opinion. But yeah, right now though, the games aren't really out there. Yes, there's some third-party games and such, but I think it's safe to say you can definitely hold off until more games come on, maybe around Christmas time. Right now, it's still kind of hard to find Nintendo Switch 2 as well too. I mean, they are dropping them in stores every once in a while, and you might get lucky to find one in the store currently, but they're not popping up as much as I really thought they were going to, as much as they were like on day 1 and day 2. But again though, if you do happen to get your hands on one, do I think you have to have it right now? Do I think you need to have it right now? Absolutely not. I'd be okay playing this right now and waiting for this if I was able to do so. But unfortunately, like I said, I am a sucker, I'm an enthusiast, and I needed to have my Nintendo Switch 2. But I definitely do appreciate and love all the upgrades to this, like I mentioned earlier. And I think the games look tremendously better on here as well too. Games like Pokemon, Violet, and such as well here too, that I play a lot now, and Scarlet, they work and they play the way they should have played on Nintendo Switch 2. Of course, we showed you WWE 2K18. It actually works on Nintendo Switch 2, so there's proof in the pudding that this thing actually is more powerful. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but you can definitely see that it works even for old games as well too. So again, if you have the extra $4.99, or if you can get a good trade-in deal on your Nintendo Switch OLED or your Nintendo Switch regular, or you sell it or whatever it may be, and then you want to go to the Nintendo Switch 2, of course, it's worth it. But right now, if you don't have that money, I would definitely say save your money here. Hold on to your Nintendo Switch OLED if you have that version, or the regular one, and yeah, just go ahead and cherish it until you have that money, and then you'll be able to upgrade once more games come out as well here too. So that is my personal opinion, guys. As much as I love Nintendo Switch 2, I don't think it's a necessity that you have to have it right now and that you should upgrade from like the OLED. I mean, the OLED screen is still, like I said, the best screen that's out there. And more importantly though, it's definitely this with the Tears of the Kingdom detail on here. And with the design, absolutely love it. I'm sure we'll get someone here as well too at some point. But again, if you like the size of the screens as well here too, then it's definitely a big, it's a big influence for you to switch over. But again though, I don't think you really have to at this point in time right now. So let me know down below what you guys think here. Do you think that you should have to switch over? You need to switch over to Nintendo Switch 2 if you're using the OLED. I know a lot of people who aren't. I know a lot of people who have. Obviously 3.4 million people have purchased Nintendo Switch 2 within the first 4 days, so that's absolutely crazy. But again though, I know a lot of people who are still holding on to this bad boy as well too, and who are also still enjoying it. So again, sound off down below. Make sure you guys like this video if you choose to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on that bell notification to update all things here. That is Chit Chat Gaming. And as always guys, happy gaming.